So Bob Arum's on the record saying that Manny Pacquiao was 100% for the fight. Before I start this post, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Eric Bradley, aka The Fight Doctor. And I thank you guys for watching. Right now you're watching Master Boxing. And this is where we break the fight world down every single week, round by round. First and foremost, I want to catch up on today's boxing gossip. For the most part, you think you heard everything, but now the guy who is behind the Cold War, the guy who's behind the birthing of the Manny Pacquiao as a promoter, and the guy who was once a heralded promoter for Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Oscar De La Hoya, Bob Arum. Well, Bob Arum, with those 32 pending lawsuits, has been on the record as early as yesterday saying that Manny Pacquiao not only won the fight, in his eyes, he wanted to make it sound like that what people were perceiving was not quite what really happened. That he felt like the second and the 12th round were Manny Pacquiao's. That gave the fight the edge to Manny Pacquiao. But one interesting thing, now he didn't say it was a definite, but he wanted to give the fight a rematch credence, or credence for a rematch. When people see this fight and people listen to Bob Arum, what Bob Arum is trying to do now, he's trying to do a magic trick like this is something that's forthcoming for a guy with the kind of business cachet that Bob Arum withholds, because Bob has been around the game for a long time. He knows the ins and outs of the game. He knows what to say, when to say it. He knows how to get himself in situations, and he knows how to get himself out situations. I was surprised that it took him 5.5 to 6 years to get this fight on the way, just because of his business acumen. His business acumen is off the chart. He came on the record, and I think he feels the need to have a track record of these things that he's quoting. That Manny Pacquiao was indeed 100% for the fight. He then said, like most of us know from the sports world, everybody fights and plays with injuries. There are the injuries that, you just feel pain, and then there are the injuries that sideline you for the rest of the season or whatever your sport be. Bob Arum quoted that Manny Pacquiao's had a shoulder injury since the De La Hoya fight. So why did he even take this fight? Because he's blazed everybody else. So the shoulder was not going to be an issue. They wanted to take precaution, but the shoulder was not going to be an issue, which further leans us to tilt our hat to the fact that Manny Pacquiao was just being a sore loser. And I'm not taking sides. These are the facts. He's on the record as recently as yesterday saying that he wasn't a sore loser. Floyd just controlled everything inside and outside the ring. Yes, exactly. You're making his point even further more solid. And I'm speaking of Floyd Mayweather right now, because he did say that Manny Pacquiao was a sore loser right in front of Jim Gray and the rest of the sports world, along with boxing. Manny is confused right now. He does not know how to. You got to think about what he has to face on a daily basis. He has a country that depends on him to be a god, a superhero, and he feels like he's let them down. One reason you can point towards the fact that he felt like he let them down is because when you think about it, if you felt like you won the fight, you usually win fights, convincingly or by knockout. Every single person that had Manny winning, and this includes you had Manny winning by a round. Everybody that had Floyd winning had them winning 10-2, 9-3, and stretching out 8-4 because they were counting punches landed, not aggressiveness, especially not non-effective aggressiveness. Excuse my French. Non-effective aggression is not counted in the likes of most judges. Now there are those who just score just walking forward. That's why those guys weren't chosen. But everyone that chose Manny said Manny won by a round. No one said Manny won by 2 or 3. No one. Everyone that said Floyd won said it was a washout because they understand boxing. I'm not saying anything about anyone that's watching. What I'm saying is boxing is one thing, fighting is another thing. Manny was not effective with his aggression pretty much all night except for those 2 rounds. That's why Bob Arum's here to clean things up. He's trying to turn this thing into we said this then. We were on record saying that Manny Pacquiao was good to fight. But this thing just stinks of rematch and them being desperate and trying to reposition themselves because Floyd has said, and quote unquote, that he was not going to give Manny a rematch. Why is that? Because Manny Pacquiao is being a sore loser, and Floyd made it clear that he's doing business with billionaires. And the way that Bob Arum and Top Rank and Manny Pacquiao all did business with during this fight was bad business. They didn't show the soldier mentality after the fight. It really got ugly as far as with the fact that the credibility wasn't given. And that just made the haters hate even more and gave them more excuses to pop off on social media. What do? Well, like I said, this post was basically trying to get you to focus on and understand that Bob Arum is consistently saying things that are just irrelevant to the moment. Because like I said before, this fight was set in stone. The Styles had already made the fight. All the fighters had to do was go out and perform. And I'll later do a post on why Manny Pacquiao allowed Floyd to take his identity away in the ring. After the first round, he had already lost the fight because of the simple fact he allowed Floyd to take his identity. Manny Pacquiao was always the guy. He came out and he started blazing guns. And that's when you knew the fight was over. Everybody that was watching in the back of their heads who had that idealization of what Manny Pacquiao would come out like, and then you saw the first round, you knew at that moment this is another Floyd Mayweather fight unless something lucky happens. They called me the fight doctor. And I thank you guys for watching us. And stay tuned later on this week. We're going to cover some more with up and coming Sean Porter and Adrian Broner. Now that is going to be one compelling fight. And the fight doctor will break that matchup down. So if you like to see the demonstrations on how that fight will go, tune in. Subscribe to the channel so you can get that email to let you know that it's posted. Because it's going to be fire. For those who are out there in Kitty Land, the boxing world, visit us at www.masterboxingllc.com and see that play out full throttle.